Hello, Los Angeles Dodgers fans. We've got fresh, exclusive videos and the latest updates just for you. Before we dive in, make sure to join our channel and hit that like button. This is the best way to stay on top of all the breaking news. The Los Angeles Dodgers just can't seem to catch a break when it comes to their bullpen. And now Evan Phillips is the latest casualty in a growing list of injuries that's starting to test the team's depth. Right after the Dodgers kicked off their matchup against the Miami Marlins on Wednesday, the team announced that Phillips had been placed on the 15-day injured list with right forearm discomfort. That's never something fans want to hear, especially considering forearm tightness has often been the opening chapter in many Tommy John surgery sagas. But both Phillips and the Dodgers are pumping the brakes on any panic. Manager Dave Roberts, speaking to Sportsnet LA, downplayed the severity, calling it more of a precautionary move than a red flag. In a bullpen already walking a tightrope, the Dodgers decided to act early rather than wait for a possible disaster. And stepping in for Phillips, Matt Sauer handled business with a calm 4-out save to seal the win. But one thing is for sure, there's a strong sense of optimism around him. The trainers aren't sounding any alarms, and Phillips is staying focused on a short timeline. If all goes according to plan, this could just be a brief speed bump in what he hopes is a strong campaign. Let's not forget that Phillips has barely had a chance to get going this season. He's only pitched in 7 games, but in that small sample size, he's looked sharp, real sharp. In 5.2 innings of work, he hasn't allowed a single run and even notched a save. That's the kind of reliability the Dodgers have come to expect from him. And when you're talking about late-inning arms, there aren't many more valuable than a guy who can come in and shut things down without drama. His velocity and command have been there, which makes this recent development all the more frustrating. It's not like he was showing signs of struggle on the mound. This is purely about how his body is responding between outings. And when that recovery isn't as smooth as it should be, teams, especially one with playoff aspirations, can't afford to wait around and see if it'll sort itself out. It's also worth remembering how Phillips' 2025 season even began. He wasn't part of the opening day roster because of a shoulder issue, specifically a rotator cuff strain in his throwing arm. That's not a minor tweak. It delayed his start to the year and forced him into a rehab assignment with AAA Oklahoma City, where he got in 6 appearances before rejoining the big league club. During spring training, Phillips disclosed that the rotator cuff issue actually dated back to the 2024 postseason. He'd suffered a partial tear in the back of his right rotator cuff, an injury significant enough that it kept him from pitching in the World Series. The Dodgers didn't know the full extent of it until an off-season MRI gave them the full picture. So, in a way, this season has been a slow climb back to form for Phillips. And just as he seemed to be regaining his rhythm, the forearm soreness crept in. There's definitely some concern anytime a pitcher has both shoulder and forearm issues within months of each other. The shoulder strain delayed his season debut, and now the forearm discomfort is halting his momentum once again. But it's important to highlight that neither the team nor the player believes this is anything more than soreness. No mention of ligament damage, no immediate need for surgery, just a matter of his arm not bouncing back like it normally would. In modern baseball, this is how good teams protect their most valuable arms. It's preventative care, and it's part of a larger strategy to ensure that key relievers like Phillips are healthy when the games matter most, in September and October. And with the way the Dodgers manage their pitching staff, you can bet they're keeping a close watch, not just on Phillips, but on every arm in the bullpen. The financial angle of this story also plays a role. Phillips and the Dodgers avoided arbitration this offseason by agreeing to a 1-year, $6.1 million deal. That's a pretty solid payday for a reliever, and it's a sign of how much the organization values what he brings to the mound. When you invest in a guy like that, you don't take chances with his health. And from the Dodgers' perspective, the contract brings stability. They don't have to worry about his arbitration case while he works back to full strength. For Phillips, it's the kind of deal that allows him to focus purely on performance, not negotiations. Both sides want this to work out, and that mutual trust is a big reason why there's so much transparency in how they're handling this injury. Everyone's on the same page, and that's not always the case in these situations. Phillips' track record with the Dodgers speaks for itself. Ever since joining the team, he's been one of the most dependable arms out of the bullpen. He's handled pressure situations, closed games, and been a rock for the team during postseason runs. That's the kind of presence you don't replace easily, no matter how many arms you have in the system. So when a guy like that says he still feels good when he pitches, you believe him. It's why this IL stint feels more like a pit stop than a major detour. But even pit stops require precision, and the Dodgers will use every tool at their disposal to make sure Phillips comes back 100%. The schedule's only getting tougher, and if Los Angeles wants to make another deep October run, they'll need all hands on deck, including their bullpen anchor. In the meantime, the Dodgers will lean on others to fill the gap. Matt Sauer's strong showing in Phillips' absence is a good sign, and there are other arms who can step up in high-leverage spots. But make no mistake, this is Evan Phillips' bullpen when he's healthy. His command, his poise, his ability to miss bats, it's all elite. You don't just replace that. So, while fans may be holding their breath, hoping this is nothing serious, the early signs point toward this being a minor detour. If all goes well, Phillips could be back after just 2 weeks, rested and ready to take the ball again in crucial late-game situations. Until then, it's about trust in the training staff, trust in the team's decision-making, and trust that this is just part of the long grind that comes with a 162-game season. So here we are again, another injury, another round of cautious optimism. The Dodgers are hoping this is just a bump in the road for one of their most reliable arms. Evan Phillips, ever the competitor, wants nothing more than to be out there helping his team. But in a marathon like the MLB season, knowing when to pause can be just as important as knowing when to push. The story of the Dodgers bullpen this year has been one of adaptation, resilience, and a bit of bad luck. But if Phillips returns in 15 days, healthy and refreshed, this moment might be remembered not as a setback, but as a smart, strategic move. One thing's for sure. When he's back, the Dodgers will be better for it. And if history is any indication, he'll be back to doing what he does best, shutting the door when it matters most. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. Top is making the leap to the big stage in Dodger Blue. This isn't just a blockbuster. It's a seismic shift in the National League. For months, speculation swirled about Witt's future in Kansas City, but very few imagined he'd land in Los Angeles this quickly. And yet, here we are. With this signing, the Dodgers aren't just adding talent. They're adding a spark plug, a future MVP candidate, and one of the most electrifying players in all of baseball. This is the kind of move that changes seasons and possibly changes the course of a franchise for years to come. Let's talk about Bobby Witt Jr., because this isn't just any player we're dealing with. He's the type of talent that turns heads every single time he steps onto the diamond. At just 24 years old, he's already shown the kind of poise, speed, and power that scouts drool over. Last season, Witt broke out in a big way, slashing over .275 at the plate, racking up home runs, stealing bags like it was second nature, and anchoring the infield with Gold Glove caliber defense. He was the heartbeat of the Royals, a rare combination of raw athleticism and baseball IQ. And now, with this 4-year deal, the Dodgers are betting big on that promise turning into pure production. They're not just signing a shortstop. They're locking down a leader, a franchise cornerstone, and possibly the face of their team's next championship run. Now here's what makes this deal even more fascinating. The Dodgers didn't need to do this. They already have a loaded roster, stacked from top to bottom with all-star talent. But that's what separates great teams from elite dynasties. Great teams rest on their laurels. Elite teams? They reload, upgrade, and keep pushing. And in Bobby Witt Jr., they saw an opportunity too good to pass up. Whether it's Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, or Shohei Ohtani, this Dodgers lineup is overflowing with talent. Adding Witt is like strapping a jetpack onto a Ferrari. His versatility, his energy, and his ability to impact both sides of the ball make him a perfect fit for LA's win-now mentality. It's not just about 2025, it's about building a juggernaut that can dominate the league for the next decade. Of course, the reaction across the league has been intense. Royals fans are understandably heartbroken. This was their guy, the homegrown prodigy they watched rise from first-round pick to face of the franchise. The pain of losing a player like Witt so early in his career is real, and it's the kind of move that leave a lasting scar on a fan base. But from the Royals' perspective, the decision wasn't easy. They're in a rebuild, and with Witt's value at an all-time high, they saw a window to maximize return or, in this case, let him walk and avoid a long-term overpay. Still, seeing Witt in Dodger blue will sting. Kansas City poured its hopes into him, and while this move might make sense from a business standpoint, emotionally, it's a tough pill to swallow. From the Dodgers front office, the message is crystal clear. They're going all in. Again, after the monumental signing of Ohtani and the blockbuster moves over the past few years, this latest addition cements their status as the most aggressive franchise in baseball. They're not waiting for tomorrow. They're building a dynasty today. Witt's deal reportedly comes in at a hefty figure, but for a team with the resources of Los Angeles, this is an investment in greatness. And let's not forget, Witt still has room to grow. His ceiling is sky high, and in a lineup surrounded by elite hitters and guided by a top-tier coaching staff, the Dodgers believe they can unlock a whole new level of production from him. This isn't just a splashy move, it's a strategic power play. What does this mean for the Dodgers' infield dynamics? That's where things get really interesting. With Betts showing incredible versatility, Freeman locked in at first, and plenty of young talent waiting in the wings, the Dodgers now have one of the most flexible and dangerous infields in the game. Witt will likely slot in as the everyday shortstop, which pushes Gavin Lux into more of a utility role or trade bait position. Depth has always been LA's strength, but now they've upgraded a premium position with one of the most exciting young stars in the league. Imagine the kind of double plays we're going to see, the base path chaos Witt will create, and the fireworks at the top of that lineup. Dodger Stadium is about to become a highlight factory. And let's not ignore the cultural fit. Bobby Witt Jr. is a high-character guy, a true competitor who thrives under pressure and leads by example. He's humble, hardworking, and hungry. Everything about his makeup screams Dodger material. He's the kind of player that fits into a winning culture, not just because of his numbers, but because of his mindset. He's not here to chase stats. He's here to win rings. And in LA, surrounded by stars, under the brightest lights in the game, he'll have every chance to do just that. It's easy to see why the Dodgers moved so fast and so aggressively. They saw a rare opportunity to elevate their already elite roster, and they didn't hesitate. As for Witt, this move marks a turning point in his career. He's leaving the only organization he's ever known, stepping onto a much bigger stage, and embracing the pressure that comes with wearing one of the most iconic jerseys in sports. But if his career so far is any indication, he's built for this. Witt has always carried himself like a veteran, confident but not cocky, focused but never flustered. And now, with this deal, he has the security and support to take his game to an even higher level. 4 years might not seem long in today's contract landscape, but it's a perfect window for Witt to prove he's one of the best in the game and potentially set up an even bigger payday down the line. From a baseball perspective, this move is pure gold. The Dodgers get faster, younger, more dynamic. Witt gets a chance to contend immediately and show off his skills on the biggest stage. The league? It gets another storyline to obsess over. Every Dodgers game just became must-watch TV. Every at-bat from Witt will be scrutinized. Every play at short will be measured. The hype is real, and the expectations are sky high. But that's the beauty of baseball's biggest moves. They come with risk, yes, but also with the promise of greatness. And Bobby Witt Jr. to the Dodgers has the potential to be one of those rare, transformative signings that we look back on for years to come as a defining moment in a new era of Dodgers dominance. So buckle up, baseball fans, because if you thought the Dodgers were already dangerous, think again. With Bobby Witt Jr. in the mix, this team just added another weapon to an already explosive arsenal. Whether you're a diehard Dodgers fan or just someone who loves the game, this is a move that changes everything. It shakes up the balance of power. It ignites new rivalries. It sets the stage for postseason drama, and it reminds us why we love this sport in the first place. The unpredictability, the bold moves, and the thrill of seeing stars shine under the spotlight. Welcome to LA. Bobby Witt Jr., the City of Angels, just got another superstar. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.